Despite being the smallest nation in the Western Hemisphere, St Kitts and Nevis have always punched above their weight. Whilst Cole Palmer, Mika Richards and Marcus Rashford can all trace their roots back to the Twin Islands, it's star players such as Kayamba Gums, Atiba Harris and Romain Soyers who have brought footballing success to the islands. Stick with me whilst I take you through the history of the shirts the Sugar Boys wore. These photos are from 1985 when St Kitts and Nevis won the first OECS tournament in a two-legged playoff against Dominica. St Kitts have beaten Antigua in the Leeward Islands tournament to set up this final. It appeared to be green and black striped with long sleeve shirts. This photo is taken at the first Shell Caribbean Cup in 1989 when St Kitts and Nevis hosted two games. I'm unsure which match this is from, but it'll either be Trinidad and Tobago or French Guiana. The Sugar Boys ended up finishing third in their group of 5. Good quality photographs of the Sugar Boys from the 1990s are incredibly difficult to find, so there's likely to be some gaps in the timeline here. This photo is taken at the 1992 Shell Caribbean Cup. St Kitts and Nevis hosted a group consisting of Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat and the British Virgin Islands. The badge appears to feature the brown pelican that still adorns the national shirts today, and whilst no branding is visible on the shirts, the shorts appear to be made by Rossi, who supplied many other Caribbean teams including Trinidad and Tobago and Dominica. In 1997, St Kitts and Nevis were joint hosts of the Caribbean Cup. They played Trinidad and Tobago in the group stage wearing this green and yellow shirt and met them again in the final wearing a red and yellow version. Whilst there is a brand logo on the chest, I can't quite make out who it is. I've not been able to pinpoint these photos to an exact game, but evidence suggests that it could be from the 1998 or 1999 Caribbean Cups. Interestingly, they played against Brazil under-21s in the 1999 tournament, and again I don't recognise the logo, but it appears to be the same as the 1997 shirt. The FA's website refers to this as the 1998 shirt, but the first evidence I can find of its use is the 1999 Olympic qualifier in Dominica. The shirts were made by Beaver Sportswear, who are best known for supplying English teams such as Walsall, Bradford City and Scarborough Town. It was used in the 1999 St Kitts and Nevis Festival against Bradford City in the Canada under-21s, and in 2003 in Olympic qualifiers against Dominica and the USA. We can only assume that it was used in the years in between. In 2004, St Kitts and Nevis signed a deal with Italian sportswear manufacturers El Sporto. The red home shirt was used regularly over a 7-year period, most notably seeing action in World Cup qualifiers against Mexico in 2004. The white kit was used against St Vincent and the Grenadines and Trinidad and Tobago in World Cup qualifiers in 2004, but haven't been used since. I haven't seen any evidence of the green away shirt being used, just in this photograph. In 2006, the Sugar Boys took on Barbados and Anguilla in qualifiers for the Caribbean Cup. Instead of wearing the El Sporto shirts, they took to the field wearing what appears to be white shirts with the St Kitts and Nevis flag emblazoned across the chest. Whilst I haven't seen the senior team wear this design, in 2007 the under-20 side won their Caribbean qualifying group for the under-20 CONCACAF Championships. In the next round they took on Jamaica, Costa Rica and Mexico wearing this El Sporto design. A one-off plain yellow shirt here as St Kitts and Nevis took on Trinidad and Tobago in a qualifier for the Caribbean Cup, and further evidence that they may have run out of the white and green away kits. In 2010 they first wore Adidas in a friendly with Antigua and Barbuda, with the designs being used fairly consistently for the next 2 years. There were differences in the badges, some with or without the white background to the logo, and some appearing badgeless. Before that red Adidas shirt saw any use, this red shirt was used for a Caribbean Cup qualifier against St Vincent and the Grenadines. On first appearances it looks like it's Adidas, but on closer inspection there's only 2 stripes and the logo is in a V shape. In 2014 the Sugar Boys changed to a different Adidas template. The red shirt first saw its use in the Caribbean Cup qualifier against St Lucia and was used in a total of 15 matches as St Kitts and Nevis took part in qualifiers for the Caribbean Cup, the FIFA World Cup and for the Olympic Games. The green away never saw use by the senior side, but it was used in a Caribbean showcase match for the MLS Scouts. In 2015 St Kitts and Nevis embarked on a European tour with matches against Andorra and Estonia, in doing so becoming the first members of the Caribbean Football Union to beat a European side on their home soil. For these games they donned shirts made by a Canadian supplier, Leica Sportswear. The red was used again in 2016 for a friendly with Bermuda and a Caribbean Cup first round qualifier against Antigua and Barbuda. The away shirt only saw action once, a first round qualifier against Aruba. By the time the second round of qualifiers came for the 2016 Caribbean Cup, St Kitts and Nevis were wearing bespoke designs produced by Leica. The red shirt was first used against Suriname in June 2016, with the green used in a friendly with Nicaragua 3 months later. The Sugar Boys wore the green away shirts. They embarked on another tour, playing friendlies against Georgia and Armenia. A couple of months later, they wore the red shirt in both fixtures of the Mumbai Tri-Nations tournament against India and Mauritius. Their final appearances came in 2018 with friendlies against Jamaica and the Dominican Republic. In 2018, St Kitts and Nevis returned to Leica templates for the Nations League matches against Puerto Rico, St Martin and Canada. It's almost identical to the previous design, with the main differences being the filled-in background to the badge. For the 2019 Nations League match against Suriname, this green Leica template was used. It made one further appearance, a defeat to French Guiana in the same competition. The red design was used in the remaining Nations League matches, as well as Olympic qualifiers against Dominica and Jamaica. In 2020, St Kitts and Nevis signed a deal with Capelli Sport. Capelli had already been working with a number of other Caribbean teams such as Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. The use of yellow trim on the green collar of the home shirts is reminiscent of the shirts produced by Bieber Sports in the late 90s, with all 3 shirts featuring the sash and stars from the national flag. These shirts were used during Sugar Boys' most successful period, topping the World Cup qualifying group that featured Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Puerto Rico and the Bahamas, winning promotion from the CONCACAF Nations League C and qualifying for their first ever CONCACAF Gold Cup by defeating Curaçao and French Guiana in the qualifiers in the USA. The red and green shirts saw the most use up until a draw with the Cayman Islands in October 2024, but the white did get used in both qualifiers for the 2023 Gold Cup, against Haiti in a pre-season tournament friendly, and against Trinidad and Tobago in the group stages. At the end of 2024, the St Kitts and Nevis FA announced that they were releasing a new set of shirts, with the red making its first appearance in the Nations League clash with Cuba. Green was used 4 days later in the return fixture, and at the time of recording the black shirt has only been used by goalkeepers, although some youth sides have made use of it.